When it comes to editing software, it's all pushing buttons. Hey guys, it's udo-ema. You're watching Full Field, and this is a freeze frame. Welcome to the freeze frame, where we take a look behind the curtain of Full Field and my company, View From Above Entertainment. I think this might be like the third video I've done talking about Adobe Premiere. What can I say? I'm a really big fan. So the reality is, from a wide-angle perspective, all the professional non-linear editing systems, or NLEs, are basically the same. Final Cut, Premiere, Avid, Vegas, or whatever else. It's like an argument between Mac versus PC, which is about as useful as arguing Honda versus Ford. As long as you get where you're going, it really doesn't make any difference. Now, don't get me wrong, obviously every program has its own unique features, but there's a couple of key elements that you're going to find across the board. You're going to have the project panel. This is where you have the files that are going to be used in your video. Then you have the source monitor. This allows you to view clips and decide what's going to go on the timeline. Then there's the timeline. This is where you put the clips and images and music together for your final video. And the timeline plays back in the program window. The program window shows us what the final product is going to look like. Obviously, there's going to be a learning curve, but once you've learned one, it's really just a matter of finding the right buttons and menus for any of the other programs. I think the most distinguishing feature of professional editing programs is the ability to have multi-tracks on the timeline. Now, there are things like color correction and audio editing capabilities, but for me, the biggest thing is the multi-track function. When people ask me for a beginner editing solution, I usually recommend something like iMovie or Windows Movie Maker, if only because they come standard for most machines. But I have to be honest with you, I have a hard time navigating through them. They're supposed to be more user-friendly and easier to use, but to me, it's just much harder to put something together in something like iMovie. So it's really not the software that you decide to use. The most important thing when it comes to editing is that you know your software, whatever it happens to be, and know your story, and tell it. I'm going to keep running through the different tools that I use to create video and run my business, but if there's any part of the process you'd like to hear more about, please don't forget to leave me a note in the comments below. And if this is your first time watching, don't forget to click the subscribe button to get your weekly dose of video tradecraft, framed and in focus. I'm udo-ema, you've been watching Full Field, and we'll see you next time.